Oh boy, 3 today, boys. Let me adjust that. That's what happens when you make these on the fly like that, right? But yeah, 3 of these bad boys today. Three Red Eye Raws for the price of 1. Win a prize. So, with this one, I'm going to talk about what I was going to talk about in my second one when I planned to do 2. But then I got another bot comment on the first one I did, so I'm like, you know what? I've seen enough of these bots, etc., etc. Boom, it happened. But, anyway, what I'm going to talk about now is my interests and how I can get pretty fucking dedicated to them, admittedly, and kind of obsess over them. Like, what typically happens, right, is I get interested in a thing, an anime, a TV show, a manga, a movie, a game, whatever it may be. I get interested in that said thing, and then I go on to binge it in whatever, context or format that particular piece of media or whatever it is in. So, for instance, what prompted me to make this is, the last, couple of weeks, all I've watched is Shin-Chan. Maybe not a couple of weeks, maybe just a week or so, but still. I binged through all the Shin-Chan sets I bought pretty much immediately. Good shit. And, there's a text message for you. But prior to that, I, would previously, get in, before Shin-Chan, it was, Family Guy, The Cleveland Show, and I'm still watching The Cleveland Show. I didn't finish it. I binged the first 3 seasons, started the 4th season, but, haven't finished it yet. I think I'm a disc into that, maybe. With the 4th season. Family Guy, I binged all the stuff I bought immediately. I do like The Cleveland Show better than Family Guy, though. I think it was just the nostalgia that kept me going with Family Guy on the... Or maybe it's because I watched so much Family Guy that I kind of got burned out on the Seth MacFarlane stuff. Took a small break from it, but I will be going back to it. I did the same thing with Devilman. Got really into it, binged all the sequels and stuff. And then I occasionally do go back to things that I enjoy. Malcolm in the Middle, I've watched probably 10 times, all the way through. Same with The Office, the US version. I've seen a lot of things over and over and over again. Red Dwarf, I usually watch at least once a year all the way through. Same thing with Death Note, I do watch it quite a bit. I've seen it both subbed and dubbed multiple fucking times. That's just the kind of guy I am. When I like something, I will re-watch or reread or re-listen or just re-experience it. Whatever form of media it is, I'll do that. That's just the kind of guy I am. And, I don't know, I think that, that's, sorry, I'm currently publishing the other one that I just did. And if you notice today, for these ones, I went back and forth, on the phone and the webcam. I might do that, I just might alternate each one. I think the phone does look better, but I think that the webcam has its charm for sure. Anyway, there we go. Publish the other one now. Boom, problem solved. But also with the webcam, I can throw on the intro and outro. I mean, I could theoretically do that on the phone, too, if I edited these, but I don't edit these. That's the whole point of Red Eye Raw, is I don't edit them. I just slap an intro and outro on if I do them in here, because I have to do this in Movie Maker anyway, so since I'm already doing it in my editing software, might as well tack on the intro and outro. But anyway, enough of that fucking tangent. That was stupid. Someone told me once that I use the word tangent a lot, and, I am starting to kind of see what they mean. That said, anyway, I literally forgot what this episode was. Obsessions, there we go. Obsessions and interests, there we go. I've seen through Moral Oral multiple times. I just binge things when I get into them. I get really dedicated to my interests, and I become really knowledgeable about them. I tend to look them up on, Wikipedia and Fandom and whatever other sites that they're on. I try to learn as much information that I can. It's just what I do. When I get really invested in something, South Park, obviously, I take to a whole other level, because my intent is to one day own every single South Park VHS, DVD, CD, game, anything that has ever been released South Park, I plan to own eventually. Not maybe, toys and merchandise. Although, I'm not against owning that kind of stuff. I do have that Cartman plush, and I got the Yahtzee game, and I got the Cheesy Boofs. So, that said, I do take my, excuse me, I do take my interests interests rather seriously, and get really invested in them, and that's just how I am. Red Dwarf I watch at least once a year, if not twice a year, all the way through as well. And that's just the way I've enjoyed things. I can get burned out on things, for sure I can. One tradition that we used to have, me and my brothers when we were kids, we would cycle through between a couple of different movies that we would watch every single night. So for 4 or 5 months, we would watch A Series of Unfortunate Events starring Jim Carrey every night. Fucking love that movie. Still go back and rewatch it to this day from time to time. Love it. Great movie. One of Jim Carrey's most underrated performances, in my opinion. And then when we were done with that, we did the same thing with Nacho Libre. We used to watch Nacho Libre every night. Love that movie too. Would still go back and watch it occasionally too, to this day. So, I do think that I definitely take my interest seriously. I would say a movie that I'm so burnt out on that I would probably not watch again just because I've seen it so many times. Although, you know what, that's not the only reason. I think that it's just because the franchise has kind of died out for me is the Medea movies. I used to watch those a lot. I loved the Medea movies when I was younger, and I know that's kind of cringy and stupid, but you know what, hey, they were fun. I liked them. I probably would actually still go back and rewatch some of those. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I do enjoy those movies. It's a guilty pleasure, but it's fun. My favorite being Medea Goes to Jail. Yeah, those movies I would not call good, but they are definitely guilty pleasures. I quite enjoy those movies. Except for the later ones. Like, anything after... Like Medea's Witness Protection was, awful. I hated that movie, and everything after that I just haven't bothered. Doom Eternal. I binged the hell out of it, played through it in a few days. First time I watched Death Note, watched through it in 2 days. First time I watched this series. Just 2 days, done. And that when I say 2 days, I started it in, the afternoon the first day. Got to about the part where Mello is introduced. Then I fell asleep, woke up the next day, and finished the series. I've done that a lot with anime. I do tend to binge it. Some series I don't do that so much. I think it just depends on the series. It's weird, because, there's some series that I really like, but I just don't actively watch as much, and I take my sweet-ass time with it. A 1972 Devilman, for instance, I took my sweet time, not because I wanted to, but because I was watching it with someone, and they didn't want to watch it as often as I did, so I had to pace myself. And I've had to do that with other series when I'm watching it with someone, and that definitely helps me pace it out more. Like Fist of the North Star, I was watching with Danny for the longest time, although I did eventually just say fuck it and watch the last 6 episodes without him, and I let him know beforehand that I was doing that, and he said, okay, that's fine. I wasn't just going to ditch him and leave him like that. He eventually said, yeah, that's fine, you can go ahead, and then he'll just borrow it and watch it when he's good and ready. Cutie Honey I watched all in 2 days as well. 2 days tends to be a magic number for me with watching anime series all the way through. And that's the original Cutie Honey specifically. And obviously, my only interest is not anime. I quite like British comedies, Red Dwarf, the original version of The Office, Monty Python's Flying Circus, Blackadder, fucking love Blackadder. Bit of Fry and Laurie, I actually think I prefer it over Monty Python, in all honesty. But yeah, I tend to get really invested in my interests, is my point. When I really like a game, I'll binge the shit out of it. When I really like a movie, I'll watch it multiple times. And I don't do it quite as much as I've gotten older. I still do. TV series especially, I've binged a lot. But obviously you can get burned out on something if you do it too much, so every now and then I need to take a break from it. Which is why sometimes you'll see a ton of Go Nagai videos go up on this channel at once, right? And then all of a sudden there'll be a big long gap and there'll be no Go Nagai videos. Then I'll just binge a shitload more Go Nagai stuff and go on a Go Nagai binge. My channel is a very good reflection of that, actually. Because my channel, you'll notice, I tend to upload just a bunch of the same kind of shit for a while, then I'll stop and move on to another thing, upload another bunch of same kind of shit with something else, and that's just what I do. And obviously I do try to vary it as much as I can, but, at the end of the day I do what I want. But yeah, that's typically how I am with my interests. I enjoy it. I enjoy looking into stuff and understanding how things work, finding original versions of things that people may not know exist. Like, for instance, the first time I saw The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy, love that movie, didn't know it was a remake. Watched the original, it was fine, but I still prefer the Eddie Murphy version. So, you know, it's just like, I do like to look into shit to pretty much an obsessive level, is my point, is I do get obsessed with my interests, and I take them all fairly seriously. Well, not seriously, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not like life or death serious, but I take them seriously in the sense that I get really invested in them. But I think I've made my point, repeated myself a bunch, and dragged this on, so, toodles.
Hey boy, take this.
Yes, I know, shocking.